Principle number one about relationships I want to talk about is that in any relationship, the quality of a relationship depends on one's ability to choose it. Choosing it means you have to have the real ability to destroy it. Okay, I'll say it one more time. The quality of a relationship depends on one's ability to choose it. Choosing it means you have to have the ability to destroy. Let me explain what I mean. For example, can you think of a relationship that you did not choose? Right, family, parents, right? And this is exactly why the parents, this is why the parents are going to love the kids more than the kids love the parents in a healthy situation. And everything we're talking about here today, we're talking about a healthy situation. Parents are going to love the kids more than the kids love the parents. Now why is this? After all, it's crazy because imagine you got a kid that's born. And when that kid is born, what is the parent do for the kid? Healthy situation? Everything. And what is the kid constantly doing for the parents? Nothing. And then you're going to tell me that it's going to be the parents that are going to love the kids more than the kids love the parents? Parents giving everything, kids getting everything, you're telling me that the parents are going to be the one that loves the kid more? And of course the answer is, yes, that's exactly how love really works. Right? That our society wants to talk to us about love and explain to us and say to us that the way love is fostered is by what we're receiving, right? Our love, our happiness, they make it as if it has to do with what we're receiving. You could get a shot from the outside. You can receive something from outside of you, and that will have an effect. But that's not what's going to bring you to true inner joy, happiness, and meaningful living. Right? The only way that's going to happen is if you take from what's inside and bring it out. If you give forth, that is what's going to bring happiness. Right? Expressing the reality of who you are, that's going to bring happiness. But that's a giving forth thing, not a taking in thing. Now, so yes, you need to take a certain amount in order to survive. But the true high of love and joy is only going to be from what you give forth of yourself. Right? True giving. And that's why, how do you say love in Hebrew? Ahava. From the Hebrew. The root letters though in there, hav is actually a biblical word meaning to give. Because giving is at the roots of loving. Right? When you give to somebody else, you give up yourself to that person. I'm not talking about giving $1 to a guy on the street, that's cool, but that's not really giving, it's not what we're talking about here, at least that's for sure. What I'm talking about is real giving of self. Right? Really like giving over yourself. You want to react to that roommate in a nasty way, and you go ahead, and not because what other people are going to think of you, just because you decide you want to be a nice guy, or just because you want to decide to give the guy a break, or you feel bad for him, or whatever that might be, you go ahead and give of yourself to that other. When you start to give of yourself to that other, you commit to giving of yourself to that other, and you follow through with it, and then you follow through with it again. Guess what? You start to love that other a little bit like you love yourself. Why? Because you're putting of yourself into that other person. So you're extending your identity into that person. And you start to see the good things about that person and recognize the good qualities that they have and overlook the garbage on the side. Right? And so, fast forward though, right? We had a little baby. Fast forward 20 years, and here we are. You play? You ready? What's your name, sir?
Done.
Say it again?
Done.
Don? So, Don is now 19 years old? 20 years old. And by the way, if this example is no good for you, just tell me, we'll pass it along to somebody else, okay? Now, hopefully one day you're going to get hitched.
Married. Each one.
Now, here's what I don't get. Don, when you're growing up, the parents feed you? They clothe you? Put a roof over your head? All right. You ever do anything to upset these people?
Yes.
Yes. After this, they still feed you?
Yes.
They still clothe you?
Okay.
Still have a roof over your head?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like you got a pretty sweet deal there, no?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So here's what I don't understand. You're telling me that you're going to leave this relationship with the parents as primary in your life to go to a relationship with the spouse as primary in your life, Where if you say to her what you said to your mother, you're going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble. Isn't that true? So, my question to you is, why would an intelligent person such as yourself do something as seemingly idiotic as this? Why would we make this move? My friends, this is for everybody. Why is it that we make this move? If we could leave aside for the moment the obvious physical reasons and also the societal push to go ahead and do that, just relationship-wise, why is it that we make such moves? Why is it that we move from the parent relationship as primary in our life to the spouse relationship as primary in our life from a relationship perspective?
It's freedom.
What's the freedom? What's the freedom? Go ahead.
Control.
Control. I like to use the word independence, but it's the same. Your intention, I think, is the same. It's the same. What's the control? The control is like this, right? What's the independence? Independence, not independence in the sense that, okay, the parents, I'm born into it, but the spouse relationship, I choose the person. That's not what we mean. I don't think that's what you meant. Right? Really, what we're saying, what's the difference? The difference is that the relationship with the parents, the relationship is so stable, it's almost like it's not even there. You do good, you get result X. You do bad, you still get result X. At some point you grow up, you become more mature, you become more independent, and this starts to make you sick. Where's the me in the relationship? I'm irrelevant. And so you move away from the inherent stability of the relationship with the parents, and you move towards the inherent delicacy of the relationship with the spouse. You move away from the parents where you do good and you do bad, it gets the same result. You move to the relationship with the spouse where if you do good, the relationship is going to be much higher. But that's only because if you do bad, it's going to get bad in a hurry. Right? So then you hear these people talking about how they want stable relationships, right? People say, right, especially you find more with the ladies, but really anybody, people want stable relationships. Why is it, but what does that mean to say? Does that mean to say that she wants a relationship with you like she has with her parents? No, that's not it. What it means is she wants to take this relationship with you. Right, I'm talking to the guys here. She wants to take the relationship with you that's inherently delicate. Right? And she wants that you should make the choice towards the relationship, towards her. Right? And it goes for both sides, of course. Right? To choose towards a relationship, towards the other, even when there's a real opportunity and pull and desire to go the other way. Nevertheless, to strengthen oneself and one's resolve and one's commitment and to follow through towards that relationship with the other. And then tomorrow to go ahead and to do it again. And then the next day to go ahead and to do it again. And then even when there's a real pull to go the other way, go ahead, overcome it. And then ultimately, when you go ahead and do this on an ongoing basis, on a constant basis, in a committed way, what happens is you end up building from this inherently delicate relationship a stable relationship. And that stable relationship is real. That stable relationship is yours. Why? Because it's totally based on the sum total of the choices that you made. Right? To the extent that you chose that relationship and chose towards it, even when there's a real pull to go the other way, to that extent that relationship is going to be real for you. It's going to be really there. Right? Can you feel this? Right? And so that's principle number one of relationships, that the quality of a relationship depends on one's ability to choose it. And choosing it means you have to have a real ability to destroy it. Only when you have a real ability to destroy that relationship, only then when you choose it is it a real choice. Right? And this is the necessity, according to Judaism, for free will. This is why we have to have free will in terms of our relationship with the infinite. Right? You have to have the real free will ability to choose against and destroy that relationship with the infinite, so that when you go ahead and choose towards that relationship, that's a real choice. Only then can you be living that spouse-like relationship with the infinite. Right? And this is so at the core of what Judaism is all about. You see that it's right in the beginning of the Torah. You find these two paradigms of relationships, spouse and parents. Right? Right? For example, what does Adam do to deserve to be put into the Garden of Eden? Nothing. That's God as a parent. God as a parent says, hey man, you're my kid, I want you to have it all. But God says, when it comes to a higher level of relationship with me, when it comes to a husband and wife, spouse-like relationship with me, that you have to choose it. This tree, not that tree. Right? So principle number one of relationships is that the quality of a relationship depends on one's ability to choose it. Choosing it means you have to have the real ability to destroy it. Right? Who's with me, first of all? Okay, I got some nods. What do you have to say?
So, it's basic sort of unconditional love and conditional love. Yes. The spouse and the
Seems so. In a sense, yeah.
But it's not your love with God unconditional.
Ah, okay. So very good point you raised. Remind me again your name. Sorry.
Dan.
Dan?
Yeah.
Okay. Dan raised a very important point that some people ask on exactly on this point. They said, hold on a second. What do you mean about this relationship with God fluctuating? I thought you were always one with God. Right? Very good point. So the truth is that you are, in fact, correct. According to Judaism, you are always one with God. But let's understand what we mean by that. Right? Because again, we're talking in terms of spouse-like relationships. So let's compare it. Right? Imagine you have a spouse, two spouses, right? A guy and a gal get married. Right? Now, according to Judaism, let's understand what marriage is the coming together of souls, right? Two souls into one, whatever that means. So, there's a real soul change happening here. That's what a marriage is. So imagine you have these two people. They get married, but immediately after the wedding, for whatever reason, one of them ends up in America, the other one ends up in Australia. Right? Let's say then they stay in these two separate places for the next 80 years without any communication whatsoever. After 80 years, they're brought back together again. Right? Are they still married, by the way? Yeah. Are they still one? Of course, they were one all along because they took that bond and nothing happened to break that bond. No divorce, no whatever. So they're one. But how much has that oneness been expressed and manifest?
It hasn't.
Hasn't. So the inherent oneness is there, but it hasn't been lived out, actualized, expressed, etc. Right? That's what we're talking about over here. Yes, you're always one with the infinite. That's true. But how much are you living that? How much are you going to be experiencing that in a real way? How much is that going to be your life and your life experience, or your soul experience, or whatever you want to call it? That is what's dependent on your actions and your choices.